अच्छा रेड पे म्यूजिक रखना. आज
कर दीजिए सर.
जो दो सेमीफाइनल होंगे उनके ग्राफिक इसी लॉन्ग शॉट में निकाल देता हूँ.
ऑन कर दिया कि
दोनों मैचेस का. और सेमीफाइनल में कौन पहुंच गया वो भी कर दूं. हैं वो जो ग्राफिक एक ही चार्ट में सारा बना हुआ डायग्राम. ठीक है. दोनों टीमों के वर्सेस वाला ग्राफिक और वो चार्ट सेमीफाइनल वो लॉन्ग शॉट में जाएगा ड्रोन में. ठीक है. ओके स्टैंड बाय प्लीज. अरे हरिंदर आवाज आ रही है मनीष भाई. हैं
जी.
9 7 5 4 3 mix to drone. Cue please.
Good evening, namaskar, and welcome back. We're live from a historic place and, of course, on the eve of a historic occasion. The Birsa Munda International Hockey Stadium, a sizzling spectacle in the world of hockey. It's absolutely picture perfect conditions, barely any wind, humidity 50%. Doesn't matter, and it's a little warmer compared to last week. Temperatures hovering close to 30 degrees centigrade. And as you can see, this shot, that's our drone camera which is hovering right over the Birsa Munda Stadium. Coming up, the doubleheader tonight. First semi-final, which pits the Trachidwar Bengal Tigers versus the Tamil Nadu Dragons. The experience of Colin Batch versus the youthful and refreshing vigor of Rain Van Eyck. Will it be the Tigers or the Dragons who will have the last laugh? And coming up later, the second semi-final, an evenly pitched battle which sees the JSW Surma Hockey Club against the Hyderabad Tufans. That will be coming up on your screens at 8:15. That's the second semi-final, both from this absolutely fabulous venue. The road to the finals, you can see the winners of the first game, of course, they get on to the final, and it remains whether it's Surma or Tufans who will join, who comes back to play for the third and fourth place game later tomorrow evening. That remains to be decided, but lots on the menu, and an absolute
Start.
fabulous evening of some spectacular hockey. It's all set. And as you can see, joining me on your screens, the man is back full-time, Mr. Fulton. Craig Fulton, the coach of the Indian men's hockey team, is back with us full-time. He's going to be here with us, analyze and take us through what has been a spectacular HL. Looking forward to this two games tonight.
Yeah, thanks for the intro. Yeah, really looking forward to tonight. I think it's going to be a great spectacle. We've always obviously been plotting who's going to make the top four. Now we have the top four, and this first encounter with Tigers and Dragons, I think from my side, Tigers are favourites. You know, they've
he's already.
They've got the most wins. They're in, but
like
I think the Dragons are not going to go away. So it's going to be a night for the goalkeepers because both teams are set to attack. But I think this will end up in a shootout.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I think. But it'll be a night for the goalkeepers for sure.
Night for the goalkeepers. Remember, they're two very good friends. They're two men from Ireland, two Irish goalkeepers will battle. David Hart versus Jamie Carr. Lots to talk about. But of course, remember, this has been a fabulous tournament so far. Close to 179 goals have been scored until now. Or rather, even now, field goals are outscoring the penalty corners by 179 goals of 40 games. That's close to 4.25 goals per match. It's 93 field goals, and of course, if you see, total of 86 from penalties and penalty strokes. And we've also seen 11 shootouts that have decided what is the extra point that goes to which particular team. So it'll be the Dragons versus the Tigers, and it's a game set match. It'll remain to be seen whether it'll be Colin Batch or Rain Van Eyck. It will be an interesting, absolutely fabulous battle. Remember, you're part of this biggest and broadest coverage as far as hockey is concerned, Hero HL. Very quickly before we head into a break, different teams, different styles, contrasting styles. Why would you pick one over the other?
I think if you look at the Tigers, they've got a half-court
Point
zone
table
and
दे
it
देता
works
हूँ
really
इसी
well
में
for them.
आपके।
And then Dragons are
Okay.
in man-to-man.
But
So
last
they do
minute
a
है,
half-court
मैं
man-to-man,
दे रहा हूँ
so
point
there's
table।
they're totally
Ready है
different
two.
kind of approaches
Take
to
it
it.
two. Ready
But if
point
one
table.
team's behind, they have the
Take
ability
point
to
table.
press high, put the opposition under a lot of pressure.
Guest के
Tigers
साथ
are
इस तरफ।
scoring a lot of good field goals.
And when was the last time you saw such a closely contested
Yeah.
battle? Just 1 point,
Yeah.
Craig, is separating the 4 teams.
I think if you look at the goal difference
Yes,
between
sir.
Tigers
Ready?
and Tamil and the Dragons, obviously Tigers are ahead in that
Yeah,
in that department.
barely.
They haven't conceded as many, but at the same time, you got
Ready,
these two
to
good
take it.
goalkeepers in there keeping things really
Very
competitive.
tight.
So
Camera
PCA
two,
PCD
three.
I think will be where the difference
1, 2,
is, and they
3.
almost both cancel each other.
White balance,
Absolutely.
please.
Then
Camera
we
1 or
literally
2,
had to
3.
wait until the last
Last
day
10
of the
seconds.
pool stage to see
Yeah.
Break.
who will be the final four to qualify
2
for
minutes
the
break,
playoffs.
ready, please.
On that note, we take a very quick
4,
break. When we come back,
3,
lots more.
2,
So stay
1.
right here with us on Hockey Live.
Roll and take green. Thank you.
राम ये नाम इस महादेश की
अच्छा
चेतना में रचा
इसके
बसा
बाद
है।
आप बंगाल टाइगर के
प्रभु श्री राम की कथा रामायण हम सब ने सुनी या पढ़ी है और उस कथा को हम सबको दिखाने वाले थे श्री रामानंद सागर जी।
मंगल पावन सरस सुहावन
लगभग 36
ऊपर
साल
से-
के
ऊपर से ला।
बाद रामानंद सागर का परिवार फिर लेकर आ रहा है एक अद्भुत राम कथा काकभूषणी रामायण।
म्यूजिक नेट पे यार कंटिन्यू रखना हरिंदर।
दोष मिटाती
उनकी अनसुनी कथाएं जिसके सूत्रधार राम भक्त सिद्ध काकभूषणी स्वयं है। काकभूषणी को तो जानते होंगे आप लोग। जी हाँ, ये श्री राम के सर्वश्रेष्ठ भक्त हैं जिन्होंने अब तक अनेकों
ड्रोन
युगों
आप
में
ऑडियंस आ गया
14
तो
बार
दिखा दो
रामायण
ऑडियंस के
देखी है।
शॉट्स।
14 बार श्री राम अवतार का दुर्लभ दर्शन पाया इन्होंने।
कितना बचा भाई?
27 कल्पों से राम कथा नित गाते अजर अमर है अजर अमर है अजर अमर है।
राम रसायन और भक्ति के रस में डूबने के लिए आप सब तैयार हो जाइए और इस रामायण को भी वैसे ही प्रेम दीजिए जैसे आपने रामानंद सागर जी की रामायण को दिया था। जय श्री राम।
काकभूषणी रामायण सोमवार से गुरुवार
अरे सूरज ड्रोन
शाम
पे घूमना
7:30
पब्लिक को
बजे,
थोड़ा दिखाए।
रात 10
Last
बजे
40.
पुनः प्रसारण सुबह 9:30 बजे डीडी नेशनल पर।
कैमरा 7 वाइट बैलेंस प्लीज।
फौजी की एक ही सोच,
लास्ट 30।
एक ही धर्म, एक ही कर्म। आपका देश, हमारा देश,
म्यूजिक
अपना
कंटिन्यू
देश,
रहेगा दादा।
ये भारत देश।
यस यस
फौजी 2
9,
सोमवार से गुरुवार
8,
रात
7,
9 बजे
6,
पुनः प्रसारण
5,
सुबह 11:30 बजे
3,
डीडी नेशनल
2,
पर।
1 मिक्स। कैमरा 7 is okay. Thank you. Cue please.
Welcome back to Hockey Live as we are counting down to the first semi-final between the Tigers and the Dragons. When did you last think you'll hear these two names as far as hockey is concerned? That's the magic of the hero Agile. I also have with me the Indian men's hockey coach Craig Fulton, who's of course been with us here full time, and he's on full-time duty tonight. He's going to look ahead to both these games and try and break them down. Look at the Tigers. We're going to put those graphics up on the screen.
Roll
But the
green.
big strength of the Tigers. Hey Craig, they started really well. We can see them walking into the stadium a while back. They started really well with 3 wins on the trot.
Yeah.
Lost their way a little, got trounced 6-0 by the Lancers, and then finally managed to find their feet again.
Yeah, for sure. I think they had a really good form going in. They qualified obviously for the top 4 first.
Okay,
and then they were able
ready,
to
ready
rest 1 or 2 players,
Take
Afan
it.
and Rupinder Bob.
Ready, Studio One, take Studio
Which
One.
also helps
Uska
them because
graphic,
those are the
graphic.
2 experienced players. So
Ready है first वाला ये वाला graphics.
they've done a really good job to get into
Okay,
the,
ready
the,
here to
the
take
top
it
4
to.
first.
Absolutely.
Okay,
And,
fire.
Yeah,
Graphic.
now it's a one-off showdown. So looking
Fire
forward
भाई
to it.
चला गया on air.
Absolutely, and the reason we are looking forward to the Tigers, if you see that, of course,
सुरमा दे रहा है.
this is about the Surmas. We're going to show this
Sorry.
later. But
Ready,
of course,
take
the
it
Tigers
to-
were the first to make it to the playoffs. They also have the most number of outright
Okay,
wins.
take
No
CG,
team
fire.
won as many games.
I think they won 6.
6 on the trot.
Yeah.
Only the Lancers and Tufans have scored more goals than the Tigers, 24. And also they have got the third highest PC conversion, 22.2%.
अभी नहीं.
Yeah, Jugraj is doing really well. I mean, he scored in almost every game, and he's their main point of
Camera
attack.
10, white
So
balance
it's going to be a
karo
nice battle between them and David Hart. So yeah, I think it's all set up nicely. I think
Ready,
tonight's a
to
night
take
for the
it.
goalkeepers. Both teams are set up to attack
Ready, studio
and
one, take studio one.
counter-attack specifically.
Campaigning trial,
And,
goal score
should be-
ready.
Should be exciting.
You know, and
Okay.
the underlying
Take
story
it
of
to-
the Tigers also is that the
Okay.
Bengal
Fire
Tigers.
CG,
This
take.
will make you happy as the Indian coach, because out of the 26 goals, now we're looking at the campaign trail. They have nearly scored as many as field goals as penalty corners,
आप अपने close-up
penalty
picture
strokes,
देखना. Anchor के
24,
साथ graphic.
and they've conceded
Take.
22. There's not much to read between the lines. They started really well, but in the end, they were of course conceding a number of field goals as well in penalty corners.
Ready, two.
Sure.
But the next graphic,
Take
which I'm
it
going to
to-
put on
Next graphic,
screen
ready,
play, is
Okay,
the
fire
number
graphic.
of different
Take.
goal scorers, and it's not just
Yeah.
a Rupinder Pal or a Jugraj. There you see, of the 24 goals, 22 have been scored by Indian players. As the Indian coach, does it make Craig Fulton happy?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's nice
के
to
साथ.
see Sukhjit, Abhishek,
Take.
Rabinder Paul as an ex-international, and Jugraj.
Camera,
They,
1 and 3,
they've
white
taken the
balance.
lion's share of the scoring responsibilities, which is great. But you have Afan, Pradeep,
42
and
pe hai
Sid
na?
Dokia popping in at the end. But it's nice to see that they've also don't have only one area that they're scoring goals from. But like I said,
Ready, two.
Jugraj and Rupinder are doing
Ready.
well on the PCs. So if they can win enough
Take it,
PCs
two.
tonight, they will convert. But
Ready, studio
field
one,
goals
take
are
studio
where
one,
it's
take.
really needed.
Field goals are where it's
Take
needed,
it.
and of
Yeah.
course they have, like the way they started, losing their way a little bit. Last 3-4 games have been very, very close. What sort of game are they going to come up with tonight?
Well, I think there'll be full-out
Takes
attack
one,
from
takes
both
one.
teams because
ये coach
to
की
get
bike
into the
चलाने से
semis,
ज़्यादा
you don't want to
क्योंकि
lose a
break में जाना
semi
है,
where
1 minute
you've
बचा है.
actually got a draw and that's all you need to get in. And then you're not really,
Ready, two.
you're a bit cagey. But as soon as Dragons went down 2-0, they started to play because they had to get a draw to get back in. Now, to get into the final, you got to go for it. So I think this first half could be pretty interesting. I think it'll be full-on
Right.
pressing and trying to get the opposition, try and get the upper hand on the opposition by trying to
Right.
get a goal up or two. And whoever scores first, I think, sits in a very strong position.
अभी
Right. We'll obviously carry on this discussion,
वापसी
but
आगे चलाते
let's also look ahead to the fact that the Tigers
Last 30
actually met the Tamil Nadu Dragons on the 10th of January. That's where things went a little topsy-turvy.
Break क्यों
But
करना?
the Dragons dominated
दो
the
मिनट
game.
का.
They won it 2-1. Rupinder Pal did score once, but he did miss also.
Last
And
15
that's how
seconds.
the fortunes changed.
Yeah,
So
sure.
we are hoping, as Craig says, for a seesaw battle, a
Last 10
ding-dong
seconds
battle
for break.
between the Tigers
9,
and the Dragons.
8,
Remember,
7,
literally, it
6,
cannot get any
5,
bigger or better
4,
than this.
3,
Stay right here. We'll be back
2,
after a very
1.
short break.
Roll green, take up sound. आगे उसकी बाइट चला दो.
दूरदर्शन और सारेगामा प्रस्तुत करते हैं
आते ही
भारत
उसकी
का सबसे
कोच की
बड़ा चैलेंज बैटल ऑफ बैंड्स जो है वेव्स
अच्छा, ये आपको
2025 क्रिएट
पीछे
इन इंडिया
केबल
चैलेंज
नजर आ
का
रही है
हिस्सा।
ईयरफोन की. पंकज केबल ठीक करे यार, क्लोजअप पे वो केबल नजर आती है संजीव सर की.
यहाँ कुछ दोस्त, कुछ भाई बहन, कुछ रिश्तेदार
EP की
और
केबल
कुछ
नजर आ रही
गुरु
है
शिष्य
संजय.
मिलकर लड़ेंगे संगीत की जंग और उनका आकलन करेंगे हमारे प्रतिष्ठित जज
आराम से
राजा हसन और श्रद्धा पंडित। इस मंच को होस्ट करेंगे केतन सिंह। साथ ही भारत के बड़े बड़े नाम भी आएंगे भारत के बेस्ट ऑफ द बैंड्स को जज करने के लिए।
ये है पंजाब।
ये मंच भारत के हर कोने को एक सूत्र में पिरोएगा।
लास्ट मिनट.
ऋषिकेश की वादियों से लेकर मुंबई के समंदर तक, राजस्थान की हवेलियों से लेकर पंजाब की शान तक, गुजरात की मिठास से लेकर उत्तर प्रदेश के अपनापन तक, उत्तर हो या दक्षिण, पूरब हो या पश्चिम, यहाँ एक मंच पर दिखाई देगा पूरा भारत और यही मंच सुनाएगा भारत का संगीत। ये चैलेंज देश भर के युवा कलाकारों को एक सुर में बांधेगा और जो विजेता बैंड बनेगा उसकी तो बात ही क्या। सारेगामा की ओर से न सिर्फ खास मौका मिलेगा बल्कि वेव्स समिट के फिनाले में परफॉर्म करने का सुनहरा अवसर भी दिया जाएगा।
लास्ट 20 सेकंड्स. हाँ बोलो 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 PFL देना एंकर का
सपने
फटाफट
फिर सांस लेंगे,
हाँ, बोलिए
संगीत
संजीव भाई।
फिर धड़केगा और सुरों के
हाँ
योद्धा
यार,
लड़ेंगे
अब-
अपनी जीत की जंग। बैटल ऑफ बैंड्स में
6,
सोमवार से
5,
शुक्रवार हर शाम 6
4,
बजे सिर्फ
3,
दूरदर्शन नेशनल
2,
पर।
1 dissolve air to music sir.
Welcome back to Hockey Live. Of course, this is
Coach
literally
का mic
as
cue.
we count down
Coach
the
is
first
ready.
semi-final. Craig Fulton is there, and we're calling it the Game of
Ready,
Thrones
Green.
actually, because the Dragons are here versus the Tigers. Who's going to breathe fire? Who's going to breathe ice? That's anybody's guess. But right now, we have the Tigers coach, Colin, speaking to us.
Roll green, take up sound.
Hi, coach. It's semi-finals day. The top 4 teams are neck to neck, separated by just 1 point. How's the team feeling?
Yeah, it was very close competition when you look at it after 10 matches and it's so close. So the team's excited and looking forward to the semi-final.
Any specific plans?
Oh, not really. We need to play at a good, consistent
Last
level.
20.
Obviously, Dragons are they've got some quality in their team. They've got some speed in the midfield that we'll have to control, but also their penalty corners are working
9,
well. And it's not just the
8,
direct flick; it's
7,
some variations
6,
they've put in place. So it'll be
5,
interesting to see
4,
what extra ones they have
3,
tonight.
2,
Thank you, coach. All the best.
take. Cue.
Remains to be seen what Colin Batch has been preparing for us for a younger or rather newer counterpart, Rain Van Eyck. But if you look at the Dragons, and the Dragon story, Craig, has been a little different from what the Tigers have been. They started with 2 shoot-offs in which they just barely managed to secure an extra point. Then they won 4 on the bounce, lost their way, and they literally had to get a single point from the last pool game to make sure they were in the semi-finals.
Yeah, and I think
Ready, Studio One, take.
it was also quite a good response, being 2-0 down after the first half, and then to come back in,
Tamil Nadu
get
hai
the
na?
2 goals,
Dragon ही है.
and then to be honest, to choose who they wanted to
shots
play in the semis. I don't think they wanted to win the shootout. It was quite clear. And they sit now and they've chosen Tigers for whatever reason. They feel that they could have a full go at them. I think maybe from the pool game. But yeah, I hope they get what they wish for. So
Exactly, and it seemed as if
Ready,
they've run
CG?
into their old rivals. They beat the Tigers. They only
Okay.
played them once
Take
on the
CG,
10th of
fire.
January. But you look at, if we look at, yes, that's the story. They literally needed a point, Craig, from the last pool game to make it the playoffs. Only team in the semis
आप close-up
with
की
a
तरफ देखो,
negative
anchor के साथ,
goal
एक
difference.
anchor के
The
साथ.
least number of penalty corners won among all teams, just 37. And the best PC conversion, a shade under 30%. That's efficiency in a way,
Ready,
isn't
to
it?
take it.
I think that's the strongest stat on that sheet
yes,
there,
yes,
because
yes, yes.
they don't have to win a lot, but they're pretty efficient with the variations and the 2 guys they got on the top. So they're going to need that tonight to challenge the Dragons PCD, and obviously David Hart in goal.
Okay, okay,
Ahmed
okay.
running 1. That's be a nice battle. I really am looking forward to
Ready,
it
take
because
it,
I
two.
think
Next
Yip's in
category
good
का-
form, and
Ready?
the variations
Okay,
are suiting
fire.
him and
Take
putting him
CG.
into space.
और ये
But
दूसरा
Dragons will be, I'm sorry, Tigers will be completely aware of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to be a nice battle, or a game within a game.
Game within a game. That's an interesting way in which you put it. And if you look at that, the field goals are equal to the number of penalty corners. We're trying to figure out how to, break this down bit by bit. But more importantly, look at the Tamil Nadu Dragons, the midfield. You look at Mohammad Rahi,
Okay, ready,
you look
two,
at Tom
take it,
Craig,
two.
Uttam,
Ready,
Sosby,
CG,
Zvika.
next.
They
Fire.
seem to be
Take.
fronting the attack, and they seem to be creating a lot of pressure from the midfield by winning the ball a number of times.
If they can get back to the form that they had in the beginning, when it was a lot of combination plays with the midfield, I think they put themselves in a good position. If they wait really deep in a half court, man to man for long periods of time, they're only relying on one way, and that's to counter attack.
Take it.
So it could be difficult for them, but I think if they had to high press and put some pressure on, I think that could bring something for them.
Would you also concede, as many headline hunters would say, this is a battle, Craig, of the 2 J's, Janssen and Jugraj? What do you make of it? One has got 9 strikes, the other's got 7. They are both the top scorers for their respective teams.
Yeah, I think Jugraj is from a direct strike, and I think Yip has got
Ready, studio
probably
one,
half
take
from
studio one camera.
variations where he flicked away into space and been really effective. So those two, that's why I say it's a night for the goalkeepers.
Okay.
Because
Ready, camera, 6, take
those
6.
two drag flicking, if they get their opportunities and put them away, for sure. But Dragons seem to have a higher conversion rate, so that's in their favour.
And they'll also need to make sure that they do not concede as many penalty corners, because that seems to be the Tigers' bigger chance of making an impact in this game.
I think the problem is the Dragons concede a lot of pieces. That's where their weakness is, and towards also later on in games they get cards, and it does affect the way that they end the game. So if they can eliminate the silly cards towards the fourth quarter and not give away too many PCs, they have a good chance. But that's the strength of the Tigers. So free-flowing, counter-attacking, good strikers, good PC. I think they're gonna rely heavily on their zonal press to counter-attack, and if Dragons can deal with it, it could be interesting.
Right, let's quickly listen to Wayne Van Eyck, the head coach of the Tamil Nadu Dragons.
Roll green, take up sound.
Welcome to the semis, coach. You had a roller coaster phase 2, but now you're ready to breathe fire in the semis. With your midfield strength taking the charge, what will be the key to unlocking victory today?
Well, the game starts with 0-0. I think we have to be daring to attack. We want to attack to the back four of the Tigers. If we can do that, then we'll be fine. Of course, the forwards of the Tigers are very good. The team is very experienced. So let's see what a bit of energy can do.
All the best. Thank you.
He's going to press.
What do you make of what he said?
Yeah, I think he's got his ideas are clear. They want to attack the back four of the Tigers, and yeah, rightfully so. If they can put some pressure on, like I said early on, win ball in their opposition half, and get a goal or two up, it's going to change the game a lot.
We're completely out of time, running out of time. But Craig, very quickly, one final chance I give you. One final time, 5 seconds. What's your prediction? I know you're not supposed to pick sides.
I think it's going to go 2-2 draw. I think it's set up for both teams.
Another shootout?
I think so. I think this game will be night of the goalkeepers. And 2-2 draw, shootouts.
Right, so Craig...
Can't call who's going to win it yet.
Right, Craig Fulton keeps it at 2-2, and then the shootout, you don't know, it's a battle of the two Irish goalkeepers. Craig and myself will be back. Keep watching Hockey Alive and all our exclusive coverage right here.
Okay, roll green, take. Thank you so much.